Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and I'm doing my second pre-release Fate Reforged Swiss draft. And we've opened Rally the Ancestors. This seems like an okay card. You can use it as like a defensive spell. Seems okay. What else we got here? Light Form, comes an aura, give a creature flying and lifelink. Yeah, that guy actually, that seems pretty good. What else we got here that's worth mentioning? 5 mana, 5/4 is decent. How about a 5 mana 5/5 flying trample haste, and at the beginning of the end step, you gotta shuffle it into its library. That's still pretty good. Warflare, creatures you control get +2/+1 until end turn. Untap those creatures. This is a nice combat trick, I think. I think Warflare's pretty good too. This guy just manifests for you, which is decent. What do I like the most? Nothing in here seems outrageously good. I think I'm just going to try the rare. I don't know how good this card is yet, but nothing in there was really like captivating me, so I'm not going to marry this pick, but I will take it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a lore counter on Scroll of the Masters. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end turn for each lore counter on it. This seems like an actual pretty good card. Yes, it takes some building, but that actually seems pretty decent. If you have like a nice Jeskai like prowess deck, you just put a couple counters on that. Suddenly you've got like all of your guys become horrible to deal with in combat. I kind of like that card. I am intrigued by Scroll of the Masters. Granted, it's pretty horrendous top deck late game, but if you get that thing going early with some prowess, I could see that being crazy. All right, I think Aven Surveyor might be the pick though. It's tough to say. Scroll of the Masters is good. I do have some faith in this, but the fact that this bounces is tough to deny. That is pretty powerful. I guess I take the Surveyor. Typically, this kind of effect is pretty powerful and limited. I did want to try that rare out because I do stand by that. That rare, I think, is actually pretty good. But it's tough to deny the value of Aven Surveyor. All right, Whisk Away seems pretty good. Sultai Skullkeeper. Okay, I don't need that. Let's see here. Diplomacy of the Wastes. It seems alright, but not that great. Comes an Aura. Give a creature double strike. That's pretty good. Douse and Gloom, of course, good. Ruthless Instincts, rather. Just combat trick in more ways than one. Offensively and defensively. I actually like that. Whisk Away seems pretty good. I had it played against me once. I did kind of like it. Seems like a really nice tempo card. Oh, you're going to attack me? Well, now you lose your draw step and put it on top of your... And you lose a creature temporarily. I'm going to try this Whisk Away. I think it's a decent card. All right, Enhanced Awareness. Seems actually pretty good. Feeds Sultai and his instant speed, which I do like. What does this guy do? Combat damage to a player. If you control blue or red permanent, discard a card if you do draw a card. Well, that's interesting. White cards that... And it's like... That's actually pretty good. 2 mana, 3/1. Untap target creature, draw a card, so it's like a reasonable combat trick maybe. Tap up to 2 target creatures, they don't untap. This card seems pretty good. It's instant speed. I kind of like that one. I do like this Enhanced Awareness, though. I do think it's probably between those two. This guy's alright, too. I like that he gives you a little flyer. And Map the Waste is good, too. But Enhanced Awareness versus Will of the Naga. I'm going to try this Enhanced Awareness. I've got a decent feeling about it. Well, we get a Will of the Naga anyway. Maybe we take it here. Try that out. Here's some Prowess. If we want to go full-on Jeskai, which is okay. I do think this Will of the Naga is a good card, though. I mean, you could end up paying some really small amount of mana to keep 2 of their guys tapped down, which I think is pretty good. Fierce Invocation seems pretty good, too. 5 mana, 4/4, and then potentially even bigger if you actually flip a creature. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's probably Will of the Naga, just because I want to try this card out, and I do have a pretty good feeling about it. And I would like to, I guess, play Sultai, but I don't have to. It's nice to play Sultai if I'm doing the Delve route. but I'm not necessarily doing the delve route. I just have one delve card so far. Here's another one. What else we got? Ugin's Construct. Sacrifice permanents one or more colors. It's an efficient creature, but I don't like the idea of... Well, I guess it actually feeds Sultai. It's reasonable. But you have to have something to sack. Well, I guess if you have nothing out, it's just a 4-mana 4/5. You know, that's actually not bad. This is a good Sultai card too, but... I mean, but nothing. I guess it feeds your yard and potentially pumps a guy. It's not bad. This guy seems alright for Delve. Potentially cheaper 5/5. I'm going to try this construct out. I don't think it's great, but 4-mana 4/5, I'm interested. If you're watching this later, don't think that these picks are something that I would do every time. It's going to take me quite a long time to know exactly everything I like in this format. For now, it's total 100% experimentation, figure out what's good mode, just based on my intuition and what I think the format's going to be. I don't like this card that much. I don't like Fascination that much, I don't think. Let's see this one. Formless Nurturing. Manifest and put a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, it's okay. It's like a Hill Giant at worst. Let's take it. We can do green-blue and potentially not do Sultai, or do Sultai, whatever pans out to be. Here's a Dash dude. What else we got? Lotus Eye Mystics. Prowess. It seems alright. I don't really have any enchantments at the moment. Inoc Guide seems okay. 2-mana 2/2 or Help Fix. I could use that, I guess. Nothing else too crazy in here, right? Defiant Ogre seems decent. Let's just take the guide. I like staying in green-blue because it leaves me open to both Sultai and Temur. I'm not sure there's enough multicolored stuff to want a main deck Neutralizing Blast, but it's nice out to multicolored stuff. Definitely, those are a lot of most powerful spells in the format. I think I like this Crew Shock more than the Archers. I want a guy that can actually attack, so let's take the Crew Shock. I'm all right with that. Let's set aside this Rally of the Ancestors. Tabled Scroll the Masters. Well, the card can't be that bad, right? But there is Shifting Loyalties, which, admittedly, I think I want more. God, how many spells do I have for Scroll of the Masters right now? I just have 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, that's not that bad. I don't know, man. I've got a feeling about this card. I think this is actually okay. I guess it's a little bit clunky, but I want this Shifting Loyalties, man. Trade my weakest dude for your strongest dude? That's pretty undeniably good. I kind of like that. That could be a huge setback for them. Let's see here. Sibzig Host. This is good for Sultai. Not amazing, but decent. Nope, I keep waiting too long. All right, let's take this Delve guy then. All right, so I guess I'd like to be, well, let's take this then. So I'd like to be Sultai, if at all possible. Don't have to be, but let's see. All right, so decent pack one. Unfortunately, nothing super bomby, but like I said, I do like the Shifting Loyalties, and I have a very good feeling that it is good. We shall find out, I suppose, but I do actually think that card's good. I'll stand by that. And I'm interested in trying some of these other cards as well. But, yeah, this seems all right. Hey, Sultai Ascendancy. It's a good reason to be Sultai. There's also Jungle Hollow, which is fixing for us, but yeah, Sultai Ascendancy is a pretty good card for a Sultai deck. It's actually one of the weaker ones, unfortunately, but it is an Ascendancy. I guess there's a chance at tables. Sultai, not the most popular 3 colors to play, but I like it. I'll take it. You know, I mean, when it's good, and it's early enough into our packs where we can find some good delve spells. We already have a couple. Wouldn't mind getting some more. There's also a Bitter Revelation, I guess, which is probably arguably better than Sultai Ascendancy, but I don't know. If you resolve it early enough, I think it can be pretty good. We just need to find... We're going to be a slow and steady wins the race sort of deck, so we're looking for some pretty good lock down the board early stuff like Archer's Parapets, and then we probably just want more value spells, but I'll take Sultai Ascendancy. I've had it be good for me in the past, so I don't have any problems with it. All right, Riverwheel Aerialist is a great finisher. I like that card a lot. I like Alpine Grizzly. I like the Dismal Backwater, but Riverwheel Aerialist, a little bit too tough to deny here, I think. 4/5 flyer for 6 is pretty efficient. All right, here's an Abomination. There's also Sandstep Citadel, which fixes for us, but I'm going to take the Abomination, I think. What color are we the least of right now? Probably black. So let's continue to focus on green-blue, and then probably just find some... Well, I mean, Sandstep Citadel would be good fixing for that, but tough to deny the value of Abomination. That card's great, too, so I think I'm just going to take it. Although, possibly got weaker with all of this uncommon cycle of dragons that we have now, but that's okay. Take it anyway. Second Riverwheel Aerialist? Yeah. This card's not getting any weaker, and we are planning on playing 18 lands, so... admittedly, we're going to have to find some early stuff to do to be able to take advantage of these awesome 6-drops, but I think that's okay. I mean, Aerialist is better than Gurmag Angler, so if I'm going to cut anything, it'd be the Angler. All right. We are looking good on playables at this point, so I guess I should start valuing fixing a little bit higher. All right, we could take Taigam Scheming. I guess there's not too much else we're interested in. Could take the Kintree Warden. If we end up with Secret Plans, it'll be a good card. Otherwise, we take a Naturalize for sideboard, but this would have been a nice one to get a land pick on. All right, let's just take the Kintree Warden. I mean, like I said, playable if we end up with Secret Plans. If we don't, no biggie. Here's a Thornwood Falls. There's also a second Abomination, though. Man. That's tough. There's also a Dragon Throne. But, I mean, I want the Thornwood Falls. Why does it have to be in the same pack as the Abomination, though? That's my question. I'm going to take Abomination. Possibly getting greedy here, but I can't help myself. You know, another nice thing about the construct is if you have enough morph guys, you don't have to sacrifice anything. It's kind of cool, actually. All right, Embodiment is typically exactly what you want in a Sultai deck. Not only does it ramp you, but it puts cards in your yard as well as ramps you, and it fixes. So it does pretty much everything this deck wants, and it even blocks reasonably well. So we're just going to take Embodiment here and slam it, actually. Be pretty happy with that. This does not fix for us. Could just take the Shambling Attendants, I guess. Yeah. All right. We actually have a decent amount of Delve Enablers. Not a ton, but enough where I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable. So we're already 3 picks away from a deck. We are looking a bit top-heavy, but we've got some good early stuff going on, too. I don't have any fixing currently, so I admit I've been a bit greedy this draft. But we're pretty low on black picks. Like, we can easily cut Grave Strength. It's nice for Sultai, but you don't necessarily need to play it if black is your lightest color, which it is for us. So, and like same with Sig Host. It's nice. Good blocker. But not 100% necessary. All right, Table Jungle Hollow. That's like a total gift since black is our splash color anyway. Very good. I do like the deck so far, though. I'm excited to try some of these new cards out. I've got a pretty good feeling about this Shifting Loyalties, but we'll see. All right, Scout the Borders should be really good for us, I think. We've got Will the Naga, Gurmag Angler, and Shambling Attendants, and we could use some mana fixing, so I don't think Scout the Borders is going to be bad for us at all. What is like the weakest card that we'd probably want to cut? I guess probably Grave Strength. I'd rather do Scout the Borders than Grave Strength. I mean, this is cool that it like potentially pumps, but I think Scout the Borders is almost like 100% guarantee. In fact, I'm willing to say it's in our deck, it's like 100% that we can't miss on Scout the Borders. At least find a land off of it, and then it makes all of our Delve stuff much cheaper. So I like it. We do have some nice bomby finishers. Our removal is what? Our removal is currently Whisk Away, Will of the Naga, Shifting Loyalties to a certain extent. Um, I mean, I'm not going to play Tuscalocedon, so I guess I'll just take a Highlands. Admittedly, I'm not likely to play that either, but if just we stumble upon a red spell that I must splash, I can't think of any offhand, but I've already got so many 6-drops that it just seems way too unrealistic to think that I could make another one work. I am happy I have 2 aerialists, though. I don't want you to get the wrong impression here that I'm, upset that we're top heavy. I'm not upset we're top heavy if we have 2 Riverwheel aerialists. Keep in mind, these guys are 4/5s, which do block that new cycle of dragons really well. So there is that. I guess Formless Nurturing's not insane. It's pretty much just a hill giant. But it does put a card in our yard, so I actually kind of like it for Sultai. Neither of these cards matter. I'm going to take the more aggressive one. I think we are currently vulnerable to aggressive decks. So out of this next pack, I'd like to find some more 1- and 2-drop stuff that can buy us some time to get to our late game. I mean, a couple removal spells certainly wouldn't hurt us, but I do like where we're at, actually. I don't think we're looking too terrible. All right. We can take Embodiment, but there's a good chance that we table it. We can take Crippling Chill, which is a card I like since it not only cantrips, but it's semi-removal and it puts a card in your yard. So all of those things come together. I think it's just a higher pick than Embodiment. It's also Dead Drop, which is pretty good. The only time it really sucks is if you're up against tokens, which is potential. How much stuff do we have to self-mill currently? Grave Strength, Scout the Borders, Sultai Ascendancy, and that's about it. I mean, Dead Drop's pretty good in certain board states. I've certainly had it save my life before. But I'm trying to think if I like Crippling Chill more, just because it's just a really good card. Crippling Chill is a really fantastic card. Dead Drop is good too, but like I said, if you ever go up against tokens, it's essentially a dead card that costs you 10 mana, which I don't like. I like that I get more control over Crippling Chill. I'm going to take the Chill. I don't know. Probably some people take the Dead Drop there, but I've just had more success with Crippling Chill. It's done some nasty things for me before. All right, we're at 21 picks, so as much as I'd love to take an Abomination or even a Savage Punch at this point, I'm going to take the Thornwood Falls. There's also Treasure Cruise in here, but let's just start getting our fixing online here, start making our mana base a little more presentable. And if I can see some early blockers, I would like that. I guess Abomination works better in line with our Ugin's construct, and Savage Punch works, reasonably well with the creatures we have, but we don't have enough creatures to really want removal that's reliant on having creatures. So I'm going to take Thornwood Falls. Just makes our mana base better, which I like. Wind Scout is fine. Actually not amazing for us since we're looking for defensive cards, but there's really nothing else here that we're interested in, so I guess I'll take it. Otherwise I could hate an Ascendancy, but I don't like that. There's also Seeker of the Way, which I would like, but it's not happening. We can take a second Embodiment. Powerful uncommons here. Probably table the Scout the Borders again. I'm happy we're getting Embodiment, though. Let's figure out what our weakest card is. Probably Grave Strength still. I like that it mills and potentially pumps, but black is... Let's minimize black's impact on this deck since our fixing is pretty atrocious. And this just doesn't seem like worthy of a third color splash, or the lightest color splash, I should say. So let's just take Grave Strength. I actually kind of like that Embodiment gets us a turn 3 Ugin's construct, and we don't have to sack anything. It's actually not that bad. Maybe I'm getting too excited about Ugin's construct, admittedly, but whatever. Let's gladly take Embodiment here. See how that pans out for us. Geez, Sage of the Inward Eye. That card's good. All right, I can take a second Crippling Chill. It's not getting any worse. It's still very good. We do have some decent fixing now, I guess. Einok Guy double Embodiment of Spring is pretty nice to find our black mana. Crippling Chill is an excellent way to buy time. Otherwise, we could take a long shot squad, but I don't know if that's completely necessary. I probably just want the Crippling Chill. I really do like this card a lot. Just buys all sorts of time, and something that this deck looks like it needs, to be honest. What could I cut for it, though? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out in a second, I guess. Set Adrift is reasonable. Hardened Scale, don't really have enough to make that good, I don't think. I guess this does it, and the Grave Strength could be cool with it, but not really feeling it. Sidisi's Pet on the Splash, not so interesting. Set Adrift is decent, but probably don't need it. Disdainful Stroke is probably the best, but it's just a sideboard card, but that's alright. We'll take it. Alright, Dismal Backwater, I think we're just going to slam this. I do want this Highland game too. It gives us more early game, I guess, but I kind of want the fixing. We do have some ramp element already, and we're playing 18 lands, so I think our top-heavy curve is going to be alright. We just need to make sure we can hit our lands. Alright, Flock is a good way to buy time. Smoke Teller, this is a good pack for us. So we can take the Scion, which is a pretty good... I mean, it's color intensive, which we're already leaning towards blue on that, I guess, but Flock is like the best defensive card for us. It buys us some time. It's a good blocker. It blocks all the dragons. That's something to keep in mind. It's also Force Away, though, which Ferocious probably works. I guess we probably take the Force Away. It works the best with our game plan of delving. So I guess we'll take that. All right, third Embodiment or second Highland game. I don't know. Kind of feeling the Embodiment. I like what Highland game does as a beater, though. I don't know if do I need to play 3 Embodiment of Springs? That might be greedy. I mean, keep in mind they don't really do anything besides ramp on their own. I think we can probably cut Sibsig Host with all of this ramp we're doing. It's just not necessary. And it continues to minimize Black's impact on this deck. All right, I'm going to actually take the Highland game here. As much as I like having all these embodiment... Ooh, Abomination Tabling's great. It's like exactly what we want. So I like that. Here, I guess we'll take the Snakeskin. Quiet Contemplation. You know, I've played it before. It's a decent card. Better in Jeskai, but we'll keep it in mind, I guess. Karu Dreadmaw, we can use that. We'll take it for sideboard. Banner on color, I guess. All right, so need to make some cuts. I'm actually not unhappy with where we ended up. I think our weakest, we got to figure out what our weakest cards are in this deck. We do actually have a ramp element in Double Embodiment of Spring, which is pretty nice, and we're going to run 18 lands, so I'm not worried about getting resource starved. And we even have Enhanced Awareness, which is good with Sultai, definitely. Gives us some card draw. We have some pretty good finishers, I think. So what's the weak aspects of this deck? I think the weakest aspects of this deck are we could have used some more just actual bomby spells. We don't have that many guys that are just straight up like bombs. But we do have some fairly efficient stuff. But we do have to figure out what the weakest stuff is. Formless Nurturing actually does count as a creature spell. So currently we're rocking 16 creatures. I'd like to not cut any of my early game, especially since this can fix for us or be a bear, both of which are pretty useful. Our finishers, like I said, are pretty fantastic. Crew Shock's fine. Double Aerialist is fantastic. And Angler and Attendants are pretty good as well. I still like the Shifting Loyalties. So basically we just got to figure out what our weakest spells are that we want to cut. I might actually cut the Construct. As cute as the idea is of playing a morph into a construct, I'm not sure how often I'm going to get to have that luxury. Maybe a lot of times I'm going to end up just not being able to play it because I've only got one bomby creature out. It's actually tough to say. Like I said, Wind Scout's not as good for us, but the fact that it's just flying beater, I probably don't want to cut it. It also has Prowess, which works pretty well with the stuff we've got. I like the idea of embodiment and then trading an embodiment for their bomb creature. It's honestly not that bad. So if you find a late game embodiment, it could still be useful, which is actually kind of nice. I guess I would prefer to not cut any of our spells. This is still an 18 land deck, I'm pretty sure, especially since we have card draw. I just don't want to miss on lands. Plus, so I don't want to cut any of our late game creatures. I guess that means I should probably cut some of our mid game creatures. But do I need to scout the borders? You know, with double embodiment of spring, triple abomination, I think I'm going to cut the scout the borders. As cool as scout the borders is typically with your delve spells, we only ended up with like 3 delve spells, so we don't actually need that many delve enablers. Plus, we already have Sultai Ascendancy and a bunch of other good spells. So, okay, I'm comfortable cutting that. I'm still on the fence about Ugin's Construct. We only ended up with 3 morph guys, so I think more often than not I'm going to end up sacrificing something I care about to it, so I guess I will cut it. We still have 15 creatures, keep that in mind because of Formless Nurturing, which I guess seems like a reasonable card, but I mean, if you flip like Riverwheel Aerialists or one of these Delve guys off of it, I think the problem is you can't, you have to pay its mana cost. So if you flip like an Angler and Attendance, you have to pay quite a bit of mana. But at worst, it's a Hill Giant. Doesn't seem that bad. We have all this card draw. Ferocious seems pretty realistic. Well, how realistic does it seem? I guess it doesn't work with the Abominations, but it does work with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 creatures in our deck. Honestly, it's not that many, but Force Away is a nice way to buy some time. I'd rather not cut any of my early games since I think our late game evasive plan is actually quite good. Triple Abomination, Wind Scout, Surveyor, Double Aerialist is a very nice fleet of attackers. So we have to decide on one more cut, and then we've got ourselves a deck. I still want to try Whisk Away out. I do think that's a good card. I think Will of the Naga is still pretty good. We do have double Crippling Chill, but still think it's pretty good. I mean, maybe I cut the Force Away. I certainly like the Crippling Chills more. Double Crippling Chill, Will of the Naga, Whisk Away. I mean, I think I like Whisk Away more than Force Away too, even though this could potentially feed for our graveyard. Alright, I think I'm going to cut Force Away. Questionable there, but I want to keep my creature count relatively high, and we don't need too many Delve Enablers, like I said, because Embodiment like work double time towards your Delve since they both ramp you and put a creature in your graveyard. So it's almost like ramp 2 towards your Delve, which is pretty insane. And we have the Crippling Chills and all these spells and Sultai Ascendancy. We probably, and even the Abominations work sort of towards making your Delve cheaper. Formless Nurturing does as well. Yeah, seems good. Seems pretty good. Let's sort by color, combine some groups. Only this many black total, and so pretty much just splashing green and black, but I would need more green than black because I want to be able to make these embodiments work. So let's get all the on-color fixing we've got. We ended up with 3 pieces, not too terribly many, but not bad at the same time. So 2 pieces of 2 black already, and 2 blue and 2 green, so 2 of each already, which means we can go 10 blue, 6 black, 5 green. No, I don't like that. I think I would rather do 9 blue, 6 green, 6 black. Actually, I think it makes more sense to do 9 green, 5 black, 7, or 9 blue, 7 green, 5 black. The reason I can get away with 5 black much easier in this deck is all of our black is multicolor, and we have, in fact, I'm actually debating going to 4 black solely because of our double embodiment, and then that lets me go back up to 8 or 10 blue. So 10 blue, 4 black, 7 green. 4 black you might think is low, but really it's not because we have the morph guys. Ascendancy is like the one spell that might pose a problem because I would like to resolve that on turn 3. But with double embodiment, it's more like 6 black in the deck. And we really don't need black too terribly early. So I kind of like the idea of 10 blue because you really do need your blue, especially early. And we really do need our green to hit those embodiments as well. So I think I'm going to do 10, 7, 4. And we'll see how that pans out for us here. I don't think it's that bad, but I guess we'll find out. Overall, I do like this deck. It's always fun to play Sultai. They don't always pan out for me, but we got some interesting new spells that I wanted to try out, and we got some card draw. We have some ramp. Yeah, this looks like a kind of fun deck. Very interesting. I guess we'll have to see how this goes. Force Away may actually be better than I'm giving it credit for, mostly because we have this new cycle of enchantments. But I can always sideboard into it if that becomes a major issue. So overall, I don't know how highly I rate this deck, but we certainly have enough finishers. These guys are very good, I think, even though they potentially got worse with the new cycle of dragons. But Riverwheel Aerialist, I think, just got better, which is amazing since they were already really good. But yeah, very excited to try this deck out. So we'll see you round 1.